Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yeah, good morning, Ms. Nemini.
Good morning, Judge Morrow.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Pretty good, and yourself?
Good. Seems like I just saw you. Yeah.
I had a quick question for you, Judge Morrow. Are you able to do SAP on Thursdays?
Every once in a while, like this Thursday, I don't think so, but I think maybe next Thursday.
Cool. Okay.
This to do a copy of the evidence.
Hold on, Judge. We're still waiting on our other attorney. Mr. Tom White.
Okay, just let me know when you all are ready to proceed.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I can do this. We can start off with Mr. Steve E. Robinson. We could start off with one.
Okay. Whenever we're ready to start, Judge, we're gonna start with position number 30 and 31, Mr. Roberson.
And what are we doing with Mr. Roberson this morning? Good morning, Mr. McLean.
Good morning, Your Honor. This was to be announced and now it is a negotiated plea.
Very good, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Roberson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state on purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
He said, are you willing to have your case heard on this video? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Roberson?
This is your right hand. There you go.
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
He said, do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? He's swearing in. Your Honor, we might need a social worker. I'm not sure he's understanding a lot right now.
I tend to agree with you, Mr. McLean. What would you like to, would you like to come back? Would you like to?
We set it to Thursday, which is only 2 days from now, and make sure that we have a social worker visit.
Okay, so we'll reset until the 21st.
21st.
I gotta go back upstairs.
Yes, sir.
30 and 31.
Your Honor, position number 35, Mr. Woods.
I'll see you again.
Mr. Roberson, 30 and 31.
Gotcha.
What's that?
Is it Steve?
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry, who do we have next?
Position number 35, Mr. Woods.
And this is also going to be reset, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Woods has a case which is absolutely necessary to consult with another attorney, and we knew that before Mrs. Howard started today, we did not do that.
Okay, so this will be reset until 9/21 Thursday also.
921. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And he has a whole.
Barnes.
Mr. Walker, the cases that you all, good morning, the cases that you all intend to transfer, have you already sent the transfer notices over?
So,
Position 11, I think.
yeah, I think there's one, and to answer your question, no, I do not believe we've heard back from the DA's office on that one.
Okay,
In a follow-up email, so I don't know if we can reset it or we need to have a bond hearing, but either way, we'll be prepared.
okay, thank you.
Your Honor, I can make an announcement on the probation.
Yeah, we got position number 14, Mr. Jacobs.
Apparently that's reset also for September 25th. Is that right? Mr. McLean?
Number 14. If I may lean over here, hold on. 14 is September 25. Now that would be actually one week.
I'm having trouble for whatever reason this morning, Mr. McLean, hearing you. So,
I don't think the 25th is meant to be there. The 21st is Thursday. A week from today would be the 26th. So let me ask, is Monday the 25th actually this person's court date on something else? On number 14, it says September 25. Isn't that Monday? Should that say Tuesday the 25th? That should say Tuesday the 26th instead of 25th, Your Honor. I apologize.
okay. So, position 14, Mr. Jacobs, is reset till the 26th.
Correct.
Okay.
Position number 25, position number 11, Mr. Harris.
Who's representing Mr. Harris?
That's number 11. That's the felony transfer number 11.
Judge, my understanding is that the state is transferring.
Okay, I have that a transfer, just spoke, good morning, Mr. White. Transfer order has not been signed yet, so I will be happy to sign that as soon as it's accepted. Are we in need of Mr. Harris this morning?
Judge, if the transfer order hasn't been signed yet, we asked to reset him to Thursday to readdress, just,
Okay,
don't stay dragging the heels and just keeping him in here.
okay, so we'll reset for Mr. Harris for September 21st.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, you're welcome.
Judge, we have position 32, Mr. Searchin. He has a private attorney. Wanted to see if they're available.
And this is Sershion.
Sershian, yes, Judge.
Okay, and do we know, is anyone representing Mr. Sershian present?
They were signed on and then evidently they signed back off. So we'll just wait till they come back on, Judge, and then we'll.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Position 6, Mr. Davis.
Okay, and this is going to be a negotiated plea?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Very good. Yes, good morning, Mr. Davis. I'm Judge Eric Moore. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Truth, I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Yes, good morning, Ms. Nimini.
Good morning, Your Honor. The state's recommending 12 months probation, serve 14 days, credit for time served 7 days, and balance suspended.
Mr. White,
Suspended sentence. Balance suspended and serve 14 days, time served. There's no condition for probation.
okay. Anything further, Mr. White?
Judge, just that's accept, please negotiate.
Mr. Davis, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 005534J, you wish to plead guilty to a willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, giving false information to law enforcement officers, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, and criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No. No, Your Honor.
He was represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I will accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Davis. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Okay, since you're very good client.
Position 7, Mr. Gates.
Also a negotiated plea.
That's correct, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Gates. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Yes, Ms. Newman.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for 12 months probation, serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance suspended, and a stay away from 2111 Hamilton Road Southwest.
Mr. White.
Again, Judge, we read this as balance suspended, not probated. So that's please negotiate.
Mr. Gates, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 005347F, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Yes.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty? I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Good luck to you, Mr. Gates.
Thank you, Judge.
That's fine.
Like, not that I know, so they're gonna run them again before you leave, so they may, something may pop up.
I did it.
But you know better than me.
Position number 9 and 10, Mr. Harper.
This is also going to be a negotiated plea.
That's correct, Judge.
Let me know when you're ready, Mr. White. Take your time.
Judge, I think we're ready.
Okay. I'm happy to give you whatever time you need, Mr. White, if you need.
He just had a question about one of his, well, the ADET.
Oh, okay.
I think we've got it covered.
Okay, very good. Good morning, Mr. Harper. I'm Judge Eric Moore. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Sure. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Harper? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, Ms. Nimini.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, an ADET course, no further contact with Ms. Shakayla Slayton, and a stay away from the 2015 Cox Court, Apartment A, College Park.
Mr. White.
Okay. 1 second. That's not yours. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. She was stay away. Judge, we're good. We
Okay,
just have to please negotiate. We would actually waive 2 months of probation fees so that he can apply that to his ADET and have his probation terminated upon completion of that.
does he have a job?
I don't believe so, Judge. He does
Okay.
not. He has a serious injury, and so he's got some issues.
Okay. Mr. Harper, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 005144J, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and if by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Yes.
Is that a no?
I say yes, sir.
Okay, my question was, has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Harper, to help you get and stay on your feet, I'll waive 2 months of the probation fees to help you get through the ADET. And once you complete the terms of the probation will terminate. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Harper. And the other case will be null pros. My understanding, Ms. Nemini.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you all will send those null process over to Ms. Strong with the paperwork, we'd appreciate it.
Next, Judge, we're going back to position 32, Mr. Searchion. I do see their attorney Beverly Taylor signed on.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm in motion.
Okay, you're fine.
I'm trying to pull over. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, I'm pulling over now.
Okay.
Thank you. On Brandre Cercion.
Yes. What are we doing with Mr. Cercion this morning?
Judge, we're gonna maintain our not guilty plea. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and ask for a jury trial on Mr. Cercion. He did want me to address the issue of bond with the court. He apparently has a $3,500 bond. To see if the court would consider either reducing it or a UJR on it.
Okay, let's see. Ms. Harvey, good morning. Do you have Mr. Cercion's history for me?
Yes, I do. He has a total of 20 cycles. He does appear to have an open case out of Cobb County for 2 counts of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Also on probation out of Clayton County, Your Honor, for 2 counts of aggravated stalking, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. He also has a probation violation from 2019, FTA 2017. Violating the family violence order conviction out of DeKalb County from 2017. Willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer out of DeKalb County 2014. Probation violation 2011. Aggravated stalking 2012, DeKalb County. FTA 2011. Violating the family violence order out of Clayton County 2011. Probation violation 2007. FTA 2005. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce conviction out of DeKalb County 2005, Judge.
All right, I wasn't aware of that history, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. And to add to that, we have 23 CP 221604. That's felony criminal damage to property. That's with the same victim. In this case, Miss Brittany White. I believe she is on the line, so I will ask the court to sound for her at the appropriate time. The case that's before the court this morning, I'm sorry, and I admit it, in that felony case I just read to the court, he's being held on a no bond. So this really is a moot point. But in the case that's in front of the court this morning, law enforcement was dispatched to 1933 Flaker Ward Street, where they spoke to the victim, Miss Brittany White. She advised that the father of her 2 children came to her residence where he does not live and damaged 2 Ring doorbell cameras. He actually was able to gain interest into the home. Law enforcement had to remove him. She currently has a TPO. She is very concerned for her safety. That history out of Clayton County where it was aggravated stalking, she is the victim in those cases as well. They have a long ongoing history of domestic violence. With all of that being considered, the $3,500 surety bond is more than reasonable. We ask that it's maintained at sit. And we also ask that Miss Brittany White is allowed to speak if she chooses to do so.
Okay.
I understand. That's fine. We'll keep the $3,500 bond, Judge.
Okay, that would be my inclination also.
Right.
So I'm going to maintain the bond as is. Ms. White, if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. The circumstances will not change. The bond will remain the same with all the conditions. One of those conditions is to have no further contact with either you or the minor child, and to stay away from Belco Ward Street address.
Okay.
All right. Nothing further, Ms. Taylor. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, Mr. Sersian.
Position 15, Mr. Johnson.
This is also a negotiated plea.
That's correct, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Judge.
If you can put your hand down, thank you.
Mr. Johnson isn't supposed to be on the calendar today. He's going to MMC court on Thursday. I think that's why the calendar is off.
And that's Paris Johnson.
He shouldn't be taking a plea today. He should be appearing in misdemeanor mental health court on Thursday. That's what the case was reset for.
That's one.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Mr. White?
He's already a part of the court, of that court. So they were adding this case to, they were just adding this case. So he should not be taking a plea on this case today.
So what court is that?
He should be set for Thursday before Judge Kirk for misdemeanor mental health.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Okay.
Okay. I'll explain it to him, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Judge. Okay. So messed up. He's resetting Thursday. No, we're good. Yeah, he's gonna take. He's done.
Position number 12, Mr. Hurd. Oh, go ahead, Crisel.
He's done.
Probation 1, battle.
And let's see, who do we have on from probation? Oh, there you go. Hi, Officer Harris. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. I hope you as well.
Yes.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Battle. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
No, sir.
Is that a no?
That was a no.
Okay, I don't know if we are doing this by video. Is that okay with you?
That's okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Battle. Let's see. Officer Harris, what's going on with Mr. Battle?
All right, so Mr. Battle was sentenced to probation April the 8th of 2019 to 12 months just to pay a fine totaling $1,320. Mr. Battle's case has 119 days remaining. Probation recommendation is to give him credit for time served and to close his case.
Any objection to that, Mr. White?
No, Judge.
Okay, time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Battle.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next judge, position number 12, Mr. Hurd.
What are we doing with Mr. Hurd this morning?
Judge, he's gonna be negotiating.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Hurd. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Put your hand down, Mr. Hurd. Thank you. Ms. Nemini?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for 12 months to serve 24 days. credit for time served 12 days, balance probated, 40 hours of community service, a 4-week anger management course, no further contact with Mr. James Coversion, and a stay away from 6274 Raymond Terrace, Union City.
Mr. White.
Judge, we understand the plea is negotiated. We just ask that you accept it. We would ask that you waive 2 months of probation fees so that Mr. Hurd can get his community service anger management classes taken.
Does he have a job?
Actually, I was, about to obtain a job with Preferred Personal Solutions before I was arrested. I completed the second part of the application.
So not at this time, Judge. He is in the process of applying. He thinks he may have one, but he
Okay,
not gotten it yet.
okay. Mr. Hurd, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 005469G, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and simple assault. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Hurd. Let's see. You should be able to get through the community service and the anger management quickly, so I will waive 2 months of the probation fees for you. Once you complete the terms of the probation, probation will go to a non-reporting status. And the sooner you get this done, the sooner you won't have to pay fees, and the sooner you won't be on reporting probation, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Hurd.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, for position number 19, that's actually a conflict. Mr. Lightfoot, I was trying to see if we have one available.
I don't know if we have a conflict. We do have a note from Ms. McLeod that says she's not going to be with us today. I don't know if we do have another conflict attorney that's available this morning. Let's see, Mr. Jordan.
I can check and see, Judge. But we don't have only one schedule at the moment.
Okay, if we can't get a conflict attorney today, Mr. Lightfoot will have to be rescheduled until Thursday.
Okay, all right, Judge, thank you. Next, we have positions 4 and 5. This is the probation calendar. Mr. Parks.
And Your Honor, if I could briefly chime in on number 19, Mr. Lightfoot, he has a hold out of New York with no bond. So if we do have to wait till Thursday, I don't.
Okay, it's not a problem. Okay, thank you, Mr. Walker. So why don't we just go ahead and reschedule Mr. Lightfoot for Thursday?
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, thank you. And tell me again who's before me?
This is Mr. Parks. This is on the probation calendar, positions 4 and 5.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Parks. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Parks. Officer Harris?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Parks was sentenced to probation on February 16th of 2023 to 12 months to pay a fine of $730 and a shoplifting course. As of today, Mr. Parks has not reported to our office. He has, how many days? I'm sorry, Your Honor. I think a couple months left. I can't remember the exact number, but probation recommendation is give him credit for time served and to close this case.
Any objection, Mr. McLean?
No objection, Your Honor. He's in agreement.
All right, good luck, time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Parks.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, on the probation calendar, the last position, Natasha Wright, is one that we would like to reset 1 week. for the reason that she has another case. The other case is the reason for the recommendation. We need to find out if that case would justify the recommendation, and we need to talk to the felony lawyer on that.
Okay, so I've got a Latasha Wright, position 10,
It has two spellings. Your honor is correct. Sometimes it's an
Okay.
L, sometimes it's an N.
Okay, so we'll reset that until 9/21 as well.
9/26,
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to reset a week?
correct.
Okay, 9/26. Thank you.
We had noticed that Maureen McLeod's name was on one person on the probation calendar itself. That person is being recommended for continuing on probation, and he might be able to get through his matter today anyway. Even with Ms. McLeod not being here.
Well, yes, that's Travis Williams.
Yes, Your Honor. I noticed from the recommendation list that they're recommending that he continue on probation and have a certain number of days to get back into class. And because she was on the original case, I assumed that a conflict on a case would be a conflict on a revocation. But because of what the recommendation is, I think that probably he could be accommodated today somehow.
Yes, I agree, but I'm reticent to go forward with anybody's case without their lawyer present.
Right. Is she's going to be available later today, like in the afternoon, or not?
It's my understanding that she's in court all day today.
Is Mr. Murphy available, or?
As of right now, it's my understanding that we don't have another conflict attorney available.
Because I had made the assumption that a conflict on the main case when the plea is taken or when the trial is had, that means there's a conflict forever. That was my assumption. But if your honor believes that I could represent him today on the recommendation of continue on probation, I think it would be okay, and I'd be okay with that.
Okay, is this Mr. Williams at 3 South?
Yes.
No, this is Mr. Mickles, Larry Mickles on 3 South.
No, I mean, I don't know who that is, but I'm saying what we're talking about, right? I think,
Okay,
right. You ready?
well, I'll have to, I don't know anything about what you're talking about, Mr. McLean, because the defendant's not here, the lawyer's not here. You're telling me one thing. I haven't heard anything from Officer Harris. So all I know at this point in time is that we should just continue on with it. Who we do have, and when we get to Mr. Williams, we can take him up.
Right.
Okay. All right. So who do we have at 3 South? Again, I'm sorry.
Larry Mickles, he's position number 23 and 24, and he is hard of hearing, and he don't have his hearing aid.
Your Honor, Mr. Larry Mickle, we had a refusal on interview on the previous SAP about a half a week ago. We had marked it down for social workers to visit him. We have not interviewed him yet ourselves. And it appears that he is hard of hearing in addition. I hope that was not merely the reason why he didn't come out for his interview the other day, that he didn't hear a deputy say come out for your interview. But it appears that we would need to either see him in person between now and say 2 days from now.
Okay, so you want me to reset him until the 21st?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll make another attempt to see him in person.
Okay. So we will reset Mr. Mickle until Thursday, 9/21.
All right.
Position 6 and 7 on the probation calendar, Mr. Ross.
It's a time served recommendation, Mr. Ross. Good.
Yeah, give me 1 second, give me 1 second.
Good morning, Mr. Ross.
Okay.
But let me know when you're ready, Mr. McLean.
We're ready.
Good morning, Mr. Ross. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes. Yeah,
Thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. Yes, Officer Harris.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Ross was sentenced to probation on October the 3rd of 2022 to 12 months to complete 40 hours of community service, a shoplifting course. As of today, Mr. Ross has not completed any other conditions or reported. He has 119 days remaining on probation. Probation recommendations to give him credit for time served.
Any objection, Mr. McLean?
No objection, Your Honor. He's in agreement with that. I told him just before court.
All right, time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Ross.
Thank you. All right. Good afternoon.
Position number 33, that's on the regular calendar, Mr. Sims.
What are we doing with?
Let's see, Your Honor, this is a negotiated plea. It was announced as to be announced, and now it's a negotiated plea.
Okay, very good. Good morning, Mr. Sims. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Sims? The other one? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor, this simply is a time served of 20 days, balance suspended with the condition of a stay away from town at Lakewood Apartments, 1170 Richmond Circle.
Mr. McLean?
Is that Richmond or Richland?
Richmond, Richmond Circle.
If I might just, you understand you have to stay away from that Richmond location. You have to stay away, you understand? Okay. He understands. Thank you.
Okay, anything further, Mr. McLean?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mr. Sims, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 0052718, you wish to plead guilty to loitering and prowling and giving false information to law enforcement. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been,
Just keep your mouth shut, Tom.
you've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you've given up your right to a trial by jury?
Yeah.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No. No one enforcement.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sims. I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Good luck to you, sir.
Stay away from that punch. Thank you. Good to meet you.
Your Honor, position number 25, Mr. Miller.
Okay. Mr. Miller, 25. He's in need, Mr. McLean, he's in need of a pad interview.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe he does need a pad interview.
Okay, so you'd like to reset him?
Yes, Your Honor, what would be appropriate, Thursday or Tuesday?
Tuesday, please.
Tuesday.
Very good.
I
Okay.
apologize. What's the name since my calendar is off?
It's Jalen Miller. Okay, so we'll reset him until the 26th. Okay, we'll see you back on the 26th, Mr. Miller.
All right, position number 34, Mr. Thomas.
That's a go. Yes, I do need to ask the state, is it their understanding that he has 160 something days of credit against this 365 recommendation?
It's my understanding he has 168 as of today.
That's my understanding. So based on that, yes, he says he is a plea.
Okay. Yes, good morning, Mr. Thomas. I'm Judge Eric Moore. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yeah, Your Honor, the recommendation is simply 12 months to serve, 365 days. The defendant, as of right now, has served 168. So he'll get credit for those amount of days as of today.
Okay. Mr. McLean,
Normally, Your Honor, when I see 365 on an offer sheet, I just blanch and move on, but when I looked at what the date was, how long he'd been in, we had a serious discussion of whether he wanted to have 15 extra days, whether he was willing to live with that. And he does get the benefit, of course, there's multiple counts, and it would just be concurrent. So he decided he would ask the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty.
okay. Mr. Thomas, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 005532 G, you wish to plead guilty to public drunk, simple assault, 2 counts of simple battery, family violence, 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is that correct?
Sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Good luck to you, Mr. Thomas.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, I do have a quick announcement for position number 20, Ms. Livingston. She's not located here at the jail, so we're still trying to confirm if she's actually in ACDC. So we're still holding off on that. And then
Okay.
we're seated here in courtroom 2. The rest of the positions will be done on the floors.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Your Honor, and until any other, well, never mind. I'll wait till later. Thank you.
Your Honor, position number 18 is ready.
Okay. And this is going to be a plea.
Number 18, Lorenzo Lewis.
Yes.
Yes, that is ready, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Yes, Ms. Nimity.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for 12 months probation, FVIP course, 40 hours of community service, and no further contact with, let me scroll down. Miss Ellis. Ellis, H. Ellis. Tiffany. So Tiffany Ellis. And 8 weeks of anger management, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, I apologize. What is the time? 12 months to serve what?
Actually, the daughter is Tiffany. The wife is Miss Hattie Ellis. So there's no further contact with Hattie Ellis.
Hattie?
Yes, Your Honor. Hattie.
Okay, so is he getting credit for times 12 months to serve? Is he getting credit for any time served?
No, Your Honor. We have 12 months probation. Let me see how long he served. Give me 1 second, Your Honor. Yes, he'll get credit for time served 16 days, Your Honor.
Okay, 12 months to serve, 16 days, credit for time served, 16 days, balance probated, family violence intervention program, 40 hours of community service, 8 weeks of anger management, and no further contact with Hattie Ellis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is that your understanding, Mr. McLean?
It is, Your Honor. He did indicate to me that because he is anxious to get back to his work, which is extensive, that he would prefer to ask the court to pay a $400 fine in lieu of the 40 hours community service.
You have any objection to that, Ms. Nemini?
No, Your Honor.
So a $400 fine instead of the 40 hours of community service. Anything further, Mr. McLean?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, it's my understanding in case 23 CR 005337C, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Can I mention something, Judge?
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Lewis. When you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get the terms done, the sooner you report to probation. Okay?
Your Honor, he wishes to say something to you.
He wishes to
Say something to you.
Okay, let me just say, Mr. Lewis, you have a right to remain silent, and anything that you say can be used against you. So I don't want to for you to jeopardize any of your rights. Mr. McLean?
I'm sorry, say it again, please.
Mr. Lewis has informed that he would like to say something to me.
Your Honor, I think he and I covered all the ground. If he has any questions, I could get with him later. I would prefer that we go on.
Did you hear that, Mr. Lewis? Okay. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you.
Position number 4 and 5, Mr. Cody.
And this is going to be a negotiated plea. Is there only,
That's correct, Your Honor.
okay,
I apologize. What was the name again?
Cody, Jerome Cody, 4 and 5. And you say that that one of these cases is a duplicate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is that going to be?
That's the 23 CR 005451Y.
451Y, 451Y, okay. That's the same.
Only one charge that he.
Okay. Yes, good morning, Mr. Cody. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Sir, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your head down. Thank you, Mr. Cody. Ms. Nemini?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is just asking for time served, and it is 15 days. Balance suspended. Stay away from the Exxon gas station located at 1105 Holcomb Bridge Road.
Mr. White?
Judge, we just asked you to accept the plea as negotiated.
Mr. Cody, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 005451Y, you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and if by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Is anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Cody. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Position number 17 is Kimball, Margaret Kimball.
Your Honor, we're gonna need a phone call to courtroom number 2 for Kimball.
I don't have a phone up here. You're gonna have to do a breakout. We're in the.
Okay, we can do a breakout on the main screen. We don't have a laptop with us, but there's nobody in here but us.
Okay, is it, we still have somebody at, I see at ACDC. If we go into a breakout room with you two right now, we're shutting the court down. So is that what you want to do? Do you want me to do the breakout room first, or do you want me to finish up with?
We could go on with Mr. Norton, who shows up as ACDC. He is a probation matter, and we're ready on that. It's just going to be a time served recommendation.
Okay, so if you'll just hold at medical for just a moment and let me see if I can get through the people that we have before me. Do we have someone at ACDC who can unmute? Good, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Norton. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. I have one question for you when you get a chance.
Okay.
Mr. Norton can ask a question. That's fine. I know.
I was just gonna ask. I had a court date on the 27th of this month in the computer, and then they popped up on me yesterday and said I had a court date for today. Would that court date be canceled? The one that's on the 27th? Because the only thing I have left is the probation revocation for the misdemeanors, or what I'm handling today.
Okay, I'll let Mr. McLean check into that for you. If what you say is correct, then
And today will be that's it.
And that'll be it. But I'll have Mr. McLean check into that for you. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Mr.
Excuse me,
McLean?
Art, is that Mr. Jeffrey Norton?
Yes.
Yes.
I know exactly what he's talking about. He was supposed to have a hearing with Judge Benson on next week, but I saw he was on the calendar today too.
Okay. So is it for a different situation, Officer Harris?
No, it's actually for this case. I can let Judge Miss Hardy and Judge Benson know that he's being seen today instead of next week.
Okay. All right, that's fine with me if it's fine with everybody else.
Thank you, Ms. Harris.
All right, very
You're
good.
very welcome.
Okay. You can proceed, Officer Harris.
Yes, Your Honor. I was just going to give Mr. Norton credit for the time that he's served in custody. He wouldn't have enough time to complete the domestic violence classes or the drug and alcohol evaluation. I know he's been in custody for quite a while, so I just want to give him credit for the time he served and to close his case.
Okay, and he has been in custody on this matter?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think he's indicating 7 months.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. McLean, any objection?
No objection. He agrees with that. We discussed that. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Norton.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hey, excuse me, Judge. Since I go ahead and handled everything today, it should be they should push my paperwork in somewhere between 72 hours, something like that.
So Officer Harris is going to get me the paperwork. I'll sign it. I'll get it back to her, and she will get it to the jail.
Yes, sir. Thank you. God bless. God bless y'all. God bless everybody. Thank you, Mr. McLean.
Good to see you again, Mr. Norton.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna get your card information when I get out on the streets. I'm gonna give you a call, Mr. McLean. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Mr. Norton's a client of mine from 10 years ago in another court. So.
Oh, okay.
Good to see
Thank
you.
y'all. Thank y'all.
Who do we have at 4 North?
We have 2 more, and that's it. I don't know if you want to handle Officer Blunt's person first, but we have positions 16,
Okay.
and then we have positions 2 and 3.
So 2 and 3, and who is this before me now?
That appears to be Mr. Kusin. Is that correct?
What position is that? I'm sorry.
16, 16.
16.
And is this the interpreter who's Russian?
Yeah. Good morning.
Very good.
Yeah, interpreter.
Okay, so this is Mr. Kushin, position 16. Oh, Maury. So this is not being reset, Mr. McLean?
Well, I'm recommending to Mr. Kusin, he seems to have fairly good English, but I noticed that even before I was involved, it said that the Russian interpreter would be helpful. I explained to him that it would be incumbent upon him, it would be extremely important for him to seek specialized legal advice in an area that is not just criminal law alone. And he really should do that before he makes any decision on this case. His bond is $1,000, I believe. And I recommended to him that he make that bond and seek that legal advice.
Я говорил по поводу, значит, подзащитного, что ему необходимо искать специализированные легальные услуги, то есть которые занимаются не только уголовными вопросами, перед тем, как принимать какие-нибудь решения. Также его залог составляет $1000. Я считаю, что ему необходимо ввести эту сумму перед тем, как он будет принимать какие-нибудь решения.
I realize this is, quote, only a misdemeanor, unquote, but certain topics, such as domestic matters, could be impactful on a person's life.
Я понимаю, что это всего лишь проступок, но такие темы, как домашнее насилие, могут отразиться на жизнь человека.
He felt confident he could make the $1,000 bond if I could get hold of his wife. Your Honor, at the time I called, the phone number listed in Odyssey is not in service. So that mystified me because this is not that old a case. However, I will continue to visit him, discuss with him who else can be reached to make the $1,000 bond. He does have a Sandy Springs hold, and I will also find out if that's a major or a minor matter.
Также я, значит, уверен в том, что они могут оплатить эту сумму. Я пытался связаться с его женой, правда, мне не удалось с ней связаться, поэтому я продолжу с ним поддерживать контакт, буду наносить ему также визиты для того, чтобы, значит, смогли оплатить эту сумму. И также у него есть связь с Sandy Springs.
So you'd like the case to be reset?
Yes, Your Honor, I had to put it down for 2 days, but if he's pretty confident of making the bond, that would then trigger the Sandy Springs hold. And if the Sandy Springs hold is for a minor matter, I don't know if it's a traffic offense or what, I don't know. But if it's a minor matter, I think that would serve him well. I just don't think he should go willy-nilly into this matter today.
То есть, да, Ваша честь, хотим, значит, хочу упомянуть также, что есть задержка на его имя в Sandy Springs, значит, и, но как бы то ни было, необходимо было бы оплатить эту сумму и продолжим работать дальше над этим делом.
So I'm thinking a two-day reset may be sufficient. If it's not before day after tomorrow, I could ask the court for a Tuesday reset instead. But I think maybe we should go with the 21st just to see if we can get things going for him.
Apparently the calendar is full on the 21st, Mr. McLean, so I'd prefer to have it reset for the 26th.
Understood.
And, on that date also, I will be the judge in the case, so at least I'm familiar with it.
Very good.
Okay.
Поэтому я хочу на вторник, то есть на 2 дня перенести этот вопрос, если это можно. Может быть, 21 число. Нет, 21 числа календарь у нас заполнен, поэтому, может быть, перенесем на 26 число. Хорошо? Понятно.
Okay, so we'll reset for September 26th.
Переносим на 26 сентября.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate, we appreciate you being here, Mr. Interpreter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You the same.
Yeah, 26. You got position number 2 and 3?
Who's this?
This is positions 2 and 3. Mr. Barnes.
Judge, these are not gonna negotiate it, please.
Okay. Yes, good morning, Mr. Barnes. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Good morning. Yes, sir, I do.
Good morning, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Nemini?
Yes, Your Honor. For position 2, the state is asking for 12 months, serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, FVIP course, 40 hours of community service, no further contact with Ms. Geraldine Price, and a stay away from the 10247 Deep Creek Place. And then for position 3, 12 months probation, 6 weeks of anger management, 40 hours of community service, and a stay away from MARTA, and to comply with any MARTA restrictions. And I'm going to look up how many days he served. Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
I believe it's still the 15 days.
Okay, thank you.
Plus, I mean, there would be some time when he was initially arrested, but not in this case.
Okay. Mr. White?
Judge, a couple things. We would ask for 2 months, I'm sorry, 3 months of probation fees. The FFIP class, as you know, can take some time. Plus, it's got another 80 hours of community service and another 6 weeks of anger management. Additionally, as far as the stay away MARTA goes, Mr. Barnes is employed, so we would just ask that he just obey whatever MARTA suspension is in place and not have to stay away from MARTA for the entirety of this probation.
Okay, I guess my question is there any reason that he, given that we're doing this all together, needs to do the Family Violence Intervention Program and 6 weeks of anger management? Wouldn't one kind of cover the 6 weeks of anger management? Ms. Nemini?
We can just keep it as at the FFIP course and scratch the 6 weeks anger management.
Okay, thank you. I think that since he's already doing FVIP, that would kind of encompass, he'll still have to do the 40 hours of community service, and he's to have no further, he's to abide by any active MARTA suspensions. Okay.
40 hours of community service on both, correct?
Yes, it's 40. It will still be. It will remain the same for position 2, the battery family violence. The only thing that will change would be for the criminal trespass and damage to property, 12 months to serve 15 days, credit for time to serve 15 days, probated, 40 hours of community service, and abide by any active MARTA suspensions. Is that agreeable to everyone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Given that he has a job, I'm not so inclined to waive any fees, but I will have it go non-reporting when he completes the terms.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Barnes, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 005346G, You wish to plead guilty to battery, family violence, and in case 23 CR 005361G, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and damage to property. Is that correct? Okay, you have to unmute for me, Fort North.
Margaret Kimball.
Yes, sir, it is.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir, I'm not.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the pleas as negotiated, Mr. Barnes. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge. Good luck, Mr. Barnes.
Thank you. That's it.
Who do we have next?
Position 6 at ACDC, Paris Hall.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm gonna need a breakout with Ms. Hall. She was unable to be located yesterday.
We can call 404
Okay,
865 8122.
great. I'll do the breakout. Thank you.
Can I do my breakout first? I was waiting first. Can I do my breakout first in medical?
Judge, you're muted.
Yeah, that's like double check. That's person. Just getting me done.
Judge Morrow, you are on mute.
Thank you. Mr. McLean,
Yes,
do you represent the young lady that's in medical?
yes, is that Livington or is that Bear? Let's see, I'm sorry, Kimball?
This is Kimball, and I gotta take her to X-ray once we finish here. That's why I was trying to get her done.
Understood. I've not yet interviewed Ms. Kimball, but I'd be glad to.
Okay, so why don't we do that now? So while Mr. White is talking to ACDC, why don't we do a breakout room with you, Mr. McLean, and medical, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So if we can go ahead and put medical and courtroom 2 in the breakout room, court will be in recess until Mr. McLean comes back. Okay?
No worries.
hoping to go home today. No, see, thank you. Yeah, see that right here. That's when you come back from- They had to do a break. Oh. He was on the phone. Go ahead, why they on the break? Yeah, look, now. Girl, we can go hold it there. Go hold it. You gotta look in the other toilet. See if they coming in. Hmm? They wait. That's what I went for. That's what I went. That's what I went. I need to, my daughter's birthday. Yeah, you don't need to be in here though. Well, my daughter's birthday, November 3rd, I'm trying to get out of here. No, it is my daughter passed, so. Like, I just want to be able to go to her grave, you know, like on her birthday, and it's September 26th, so. Yeah.
Excuse me, ACDC, you are not on mute.
Ms. Emily, are you with me? Ms. Nemini?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying to get a clarification for paperwork on position number 2. Could you, that was Mr. Barnes. Could you give me the, no further contact and the stay away again on that, please?
Yes, Your Honor, give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Okay, so the no further contact is at 490 Fairburn Road Southwest. And then the victim is LaShawn Sneed.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is that all you need? Okay. Ms. McLean? You ready to proceed, Mr. McLean? If so, you're on mute.
Oh, my goodness, there we go. Let's unmute. Your Honor, we asked the court to allow us to plead not guilty. We will waive the formal reading of the accusation. We'd like to ask for a bond modification at this time.
Okay, and that is on who we speaking of?
Margaret Kimball, 21 CR 0080009 G.
Okay, so she needs to be arraigned this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
We're waiving the formal accusation reading, but just a reminder of what the punishment is, which I've already done so.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Kimball. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State on Purpose calendar by video. Have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
You can put your hand down. Thank you. You've been charged in case 21 CR 0080009 G with battery family violence. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. It's my understanding that you've waived formal reading of the accusation, Mr. McLean?
We do, Your Honor.
How do you plead, Ms. Kimball, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
We will record the not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Can we meet a medical, please? Thank you. Ms. Harvey, is there a history?
Yes, Your Honor, multi-state offender, 11 cycles out of the state of Georgia, probation violation and FTA from 2007 out of DeKalb County, 2007 conviction out of DeKalb County for theft by taking, probation violation from 2004, FTA from 2004, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, cruel to the children in the first degree out of Cobb County in 2004. There's also a history, Judge, out of Florida, 1 cycle out of Florida, 1 cycle out of Ohio, which was a 2006 burglary. No disposition listed for that case, Judge. 4 cycles out of the state of West Virginia, including a 2013 conviction out of West Virginia for possession of a controlled substance, possession of drugs in 2010, assault conviction in 2005. Nothing further to add, Judge.
Mr. McLean, she was given a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial initially. Did she miss a court date?
That I don't know, Your Honor. She may not have had, I'm not sure what the bond situation was. I did hear about a $5,000 bond, and that's what we were seeking to modify. I'm going to ask the court to consider a signature bond this time, especially because she now has a very stable mailing address and she has extreme medical problems.
It appears that that she did miss a court date, Mr. McLean, and it's my practice that whoever she missed that court date with and that gave her the bond, that I return it to the division judge for them to consider modification of their bond. So I believe this was Judge Mather. So you can take that up with Judge Mather.
And Judge,
Your Honor, Mr. White is assigned to Judge Mather's courtroom.
I'm actually assigned to Judge Mather's courtroom, been with him for about 15 years. I can almost assuredly, you get one free one with him for sure. So I know that typically he would grant a signature bond on this. I understand that you don't necessarily take my word for it. But
I will take your word for it, Mr. White, since you're telling me that you're an officer of the court and work with Judge Mather.
Right.
If you tell me that that's his practice and that that's what he would do, and if Mr. McLean, if you tell me that she missed the court date because of an issue with getting notice, then I'm happy to reinstate the signature bond. Okay. So this is.
In all candor to the court, that I need to ask her, Miss Ms. Kimball, why did you miss the court date?
Because it was not a sufficient address.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so just make sure that we have her correct address. And so this will be your one free time, Ms. Kimball. So if you miss a court date in the future, then it won't be set aside, okay?
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Kimball, you're gonna need to give the address you gave me. I can tell but you need to make sure that before the next couple of days is over with, you need to make sure that the clerk has your correct address as you gave it to me. Was that apartment number included?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Your Honor, the state is going to object to it being moved back to a signature bond. Yeah. the state's
Okay,
gonna-
I'm sorry, Ms. Nimitz, I'll let you put on the record your objection. Go ahead.
Yeah, we would ask that it just goes back to Judge Mather. I know opposing counsel said Judge Mather has a, one-time bypass, but I would prefer, the state would prefer Judge Mather to deal with that. And we would prefer you send it back to Judge Mather and to hold bond as it's set currently.
Okay, I'll note your objection, Ms. Nimitz. Thank you.
Yeah, and there was no return postal notice. Opposing our counsel is saying that she didn't receive it, but there's no return postal notice. So we're not entirely sure she didn't receive that and just chose not to show up. But the state just wants it on the record, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nimitz. Yes. Okay, so who do we have next?
Next, we have ACDC, Your Honor. Position 6, Harris Hall.
It's actually position, we have Harris Hall. And what are we doing? What are we doing with Ms. Hall?
Judge, that's gonna be a negotiated plea.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Hall. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state on purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Nimitz?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for 12 months served 42 days, credit for time served 21 days, balance probated, 6 weeks of anger management. Community service, we're going to ask for 20 hours of community service, no further contact with Mr. Jared Bell, and a stay away from 3200 Lakeview Place, apartment 282.
Mr. White?
Judge, we didn't see community service. I see that now that CS, I didn't read that as actual community service, so I did not, and with no number there, so I didn't go over a community service issue with her. We would ask that you just go with the 6 weeks of anger management. She is in agreement with no further contact with Mr. Bell and to stay away. She has her own place. And it shouldn't be a problem. And then wait 2 months of probation fees and allow her probation to terminate once she completed.
Okay, so as far as the community service, I will dispense with the community service, 6 weeks of anger management. Given that it's only 6 weeks, I'm not inclined to waive any probation fees, and I will allow it to terminate upon completion.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Harris, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 005277A, you wish to plead guilty to battery, is that correct? I'm sorry, Ms. Hall.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Is anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea, Ms. Hall. The sentence will be 12 months to serve 42 days, credit for time served 21 days, balance probated, 6 weeks of anger management, no further contact with Jared Bell, stay away from the Lake View Place address. And once you complete the terms of the probation, it'll terminate. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't have to pay the probation fees and the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Good luck to you, Ms. Bell. Yes.
My last position, 10 and 11, Natasha Wright.
What? Natasha, right. That was a probation matter. Oh, 10. Okay, that was a 10.
This is who?
No, she's on probation.
Okay.
That was one where I requested a 1-week reset to the 26th, Your Honor. Or 20, yeah, that's 26.
Okay, we'll see Ms. Wright back on September 26th.
Your Honor, position number 8 and 9 on probation, Mr. Williams.
Your Honor, I'm gonna go out on a limb and represent Mr. Williams if he needs legal advice today or representation, because I don't think of this as being an adversarial matter per se when they're recommending that he continue on the same probation that he already agreed to in the past. So I'm gonna take that attitude towards it, and I want to see him get through court today.
Okay, Officer Harris, are you with us?
How about that, Your Honor?
Okay, this is Travis Williams.
Oh, yes, Mr. Williams. Yes. Mr. Williams was sentenced on January the 10th, 2023 to 12 months to complete 6-week anger management. As of today, Mr. Williams has not reported to our office. He has 232 days remaining probation. Recommendation is to continue him on probation and to enroll into the classes within 30 days upon his release.
Yes, Mr. McLean.
Yes, Your Honor, he is off to a bad foot, but he's got plenty of time, over half a year, to get back in gear, get this done, start those classes. And my impression is that he wishes to ask the court to let him do that.
Mr. Williams, I am going to give you the opportunity to do the right thing, but if you do not report to probation, or if you do not start taking these classes, if you're before the court again, you won't get that same opportunity. Okay, so I will reinstate you to probation under the terms of what Officer Harris has articulated. Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Williams.
So.
Who do we have next? Are those all your cases, Officer Harris?
Yes, Your Honor, that concludes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good day. Thank you.
You too.
Your Honor, I had a case, Fernanda Medrano. I'm trying to see what number position it is.
It's 22, I believe.
And in that, I believe that there was something about she has another charge, and I need to ask her other attorney whether pleading guilty on this case would affect that other case. So I'm going to need a couple of days to say September 21st, 2 days from now, to do that.
Okay, again, that calendar for the 21st, it's my understanding is full. Can we put it on the 26th?
Reluctantly, yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. And what are we doing with position 27, 28, and 29?
Is that Patel?
Yes.
Upon visitation, Your Honor, there was no eye contact whatsoever and no words. I'm going to refer that to competency.
He's already on the competency calendar for the 28th.
Very good. That's where it should be.
Okay. So I think that takes care of everyone that's on the 9 o'clock calendar.
I also, Your Honor, had a similar announcement for Lucier or Lucier, however it's pronounced.
Position 21.
Right, I had announced that as my recommendation. It wasn't the same exact situation, though. Does anybody else, is he already on a competency, or does anybody else have any other thoughts on that? I think he needs somebody to evaluate, and I'll get with whoever needs to do that.
Okay, so you want to put him on a competency calendar also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
It really has more to do with understanding. He communicates, but it had to do with understanding the role of people in court.
can we place him on?
I'm assuming that an order needs to be done prior to, so I don't know if that would, the 28th will give enough time for that information to be in, so it'll probably have to be the 5th, Mr. McLean.
If we put him off 1 week, I will attempt to visit him again and see if he'll talk to me.
Okay,
That'd be quicker. I'd like to give him one more shot.
all right, so 9/26.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
wait, is he going on the competency calendar?
No, he wants to put him back on an SAP
Oh,
calendar.
okay.
So the 20, I believe that'll be the 26th. Are you representing the person on the DV bench warrant calendar also, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor, we spoke on the phone and he understands the issues and he's ready.
Okay, would you mind just giving him a call? I believe that we've completed this calendar. See if he can get on a little early.
Okay.
Thank you.
DV bench warrant 1 case. That one, start with you. Start with what? First one started with that. We talked a couple of days ago, so.
And are you ready to go with the calendar?
Sure.
So in the meantime, we'll go over the calendar also.
I'll be right for you.
Position number 1 was a negotiated plea. Position number 2 and 3 were negotiated plea.
You might need to call the names out.
Oh, I'm
because
sorry, I forgot. My calendar is off. Position number 1 and 2, Mondrell Barnes was a negotiated plea. Position number 3, Jerome Cody, negotiated plea. Position number 4, David Davis, negotiated plea. Position number 5, Alvin Gates was a negotiated plea. Position number 6, Paris Hall was a negotiated plea. Position number 7, Frederick Harper was a negotiated plea. And number 8 for Mr. Harper was a non-cross. Position number 9, I don't have anything.
That's reset till 9/21, pending transfer, possible transfer.
Position number 10, I'm sorry, position number 9 on my calendar was William Harris. Position number 10, Quantavious Hurd was a negotiated plea. I don't have Supreme Hines.
I have that, and that case was reset till September 21st.
I think that's. And also Donald Jacobs.
Reset to September 26th.
Thank you. Position number 13, Omari Kushan was reset for next week's SAP calendar, 9/26. Position number 14, Margaret Kimball was arraigned, reset jail jury with an amended bond of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial. Position number 15, Lorenzo Lewis was a negotiated plea. Position number 16 was reset for Thursday's SAP calendar for a conflict attorney. Position number 17, Sharika Livingston. Is that what we're holding on? Or
So we might need the jail to confirm this, but I looked up her jailing screen and I'm not showing that she's being held on this charge. It's unclear if she's in custody. I show that she had a hold out of DeKalb. And when the jail chimed in earlier, they said that they were unaware of her whereabouts, so.
So you just
that's
want
my
to
update.
reset?
Which case is that? I'm sorry.
Position 20.
It's 17 on our end.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Mrs. Livingston.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I didn't realize we had different count.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so we'll figure out what's going on with Ms. Livingston.
Okay. Position number 18, Nicholas Lucier is reset for SAP 926. Position number 19, Fernanda Madrano is reset for SAP 926. Position number 20, Larry Mickle will be reset for Thursday's SAP calendar for a social worker visit. Position number 21 is reset for Thursday's SAP calendar. Position number 21 is Larry Mickle as well. Position 22, Jalen Miller is reset for Tuesday's SAP calendar 926. Position 23, Jalen Miller is reset for Tuesday's SAP calendar 926. Position number 24, Octavius Myers was released. Position number 25, 26, and 27, Hiram Patel is reset for the SAP calendar, the competency calendar for September the 28th. Position number 28, Stevie Robertson is reset for September the 21st for a social worker visit. And also 29 is reset for September the 21st for a social worker visit. Position number 30, Brandre Sershion is reset jail jury, not guilty. Position number 31, Calvin Sims is a negotiated plea. Position number 32, Kershawn Thomas is a negotiated plea. Position number 33, George Woods is reset for SAP September the 21st.
It looks like Ms. Livingston posted bond.
That's where she's released.
Ms. Livingston?
Yes, that's what Mr. Jordan is just informed.
Okay.
All right, so good morning, Mr. Baker. Okay, let's see, you're on mute, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the DV bench warrant calendar this morning. Mr. Walker, I take it that Mr. Baker missed a court date?
Yes, he did. First, I'll just start with this. Of course, we're asking that the bench warrant is not set aside, and it shouldn't be set aside for these reasons, because not only did he FTA in front of Judge Morrison on May 16th of this year, I just want to go back to the inception of this case. I believe on February 6th of this year, you ordered that he had to stay away from the incident location. As you know, you have to update your address when you request for the bench warrant to be set aside, which he did, and he updated his current address to the stay away location. So that tells me that he's been in violation of the bond that you ordered for like the last 8 months. He's not supposed to be at that location, and he listed that as his current address as recent as of last week. So we ask that he's remanded into custody.
Mr. McLean?
Well, mail and residence are two different things. I don't know about the facts of that, but apparently he has had this case since February the 5th of this year. And apparently there are no problems. He does have the ability to check and not miss court again. He tells me he has never had an FTA before. And that was one thing I emphasized to him in our discussion, I believe the day before yesterday when we talked, Sunday.
Do you have that bond order there, Mr. Walker?
Yeah, I do. Let me pull this up. I think I can even share my screen probably.
Because I don't have the phone.
And then
You can share it now.
Yes, can you guys see what I'm looking at?
Okay. No further contact with Sue. And now who is Sue Murray?
The victim in the case, Your Honor.
Okay, so and so he updated his address to the, and how, do you know, how she's related to him?
I will have to go look at the facts of the case, but to answer your
Right, yeah,
question, he
and
did.
I understand, Mr. McLean, I understand Mr. Walker's concern because no further contact, when I tell people, means no contact whatsoever. So
Right.
I don't know why you would update your address to a place where you're not supposed to, where you're supposed to stay away from. And if the victim actually lives at that location, then that would be a violation of the bond order.
I see the problem, Your Honor. Let me note that the police report does say that at the time, she said they had been together in her father's house for about 2 weeks at that time. And that means that those would not be the only two people living there. I don't know if he's a family friend, if he gets his mail through her father, if that's the father's address, and so on. But inferences like that could be made from the second paragraph of the police report.
Well, I think we're playing a game of semantics. If he's not allowed to be at that address, you obviously will have to go there to pick up your mail. I believe that he's still there, but I mean, this is the documentation that he has provided to the court. He's not allowed to have contact, and even it's her father's home, so he can't have contact with her or her family, I believe, and he can't return to the address. So either way, he's been in violation. And he's FTA'd.
There ought to be another address that he should provide, but you don't have to go.
Well, it's kind of after the fact that you've admitted that you violated your bond order.
There's no evidence before the court that he's admitted it.
Yeah, the documentation that he submitted is the evidence that I'm referring to.
He
That
wrote
is,
the address down on a piece of paper, but there's no
so
evidence.
either he provided false documentation to the court or.
Okay, well, I can't hear two people at one time. So I'm happy to hear everybody's argument, but I just want
Maybe
to
that's
be able
where
to
he gets his
comprehend.
mail, and then it could be taken to him from somewhere else. But there is no evidence before this court right now that he violated the court order just because he wrote down an address where he gets his mail. Now, that's correct. So we
I'm
would.
sorry, my laptop's about to die, but I argue to the contrary. The evidence that I'm referring to is the evidence that he submitted it. Unless he provided a false statement on the document that he submitted to the court, he listed that as his address, the same address he was ordered to stay away from. So with that being said, I'm not going to go back and forth. The evidence speaks for itself. It's not something that I came up with or put out thin air. I'm referring to the documentation that he filled out and submitted on his own behalf. So with that being said, he was given a signature bond, he FTA'd, and he's still at the same address he was ordered to stay away from. So we're asking that he's remaining into custody. It's that simple.
We don't believe there have been any further altercations or any further problems. We could ask Mr. Baker to provide a new address for the future. And, I think that would be the request that we have.
Finally, missed the court date, Mr. McLean, I think I missed that point.
Excuse me, am I allowed to talk? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Baker, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. I would advise you, I'm sure your counsel would, to let them speak for you at the present time. If you want to go into a breakout room and speak with them to communicate something, I'm happy to let you do that. But Mr. McLean, did you have a response to my question?
I do need to ask him about that. Why don't I go into a breakout room with him?
Okay, why don't you all do that and, just kind of sort it out. And I mean, you're an officer of the court for sure, man. And I know you have to represent him. So, but I do find that there are some problems. But yeah, I don't like to, if it's simply that he missed a court date because he didn't get or some situation, I'm happy to speak to it. But with the other concerns, I'm more reticent. Okay, so can we place courtroom 2 and Mr. Baker into a breakout room, please?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. McLean, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Is she on? I contacted her as an officer of the court. He can't contact her under the court order, but the situation is what it is. He tells me he has not been living there. I called her number. She said she's going to Zoom on as soon as possible. My understanding is that his house burnt down. He didn't have a place to stay. Dad or somebody said, use this address for your mail, but he hasn't been living there. The other thing, Your Honor, is that they feel like there's a misunderstanding ab initio. They feel like it should have been no further violent contact because people get along and it's a one-time thing. So there you go.
Well,
But
and
I'm
if that's the case, then they need to seek a modification of the order. And it was noted that while you were speaking, that it was noted that he was residentially challenged and that the notice was it returned, Ms. Strong?
Well, it doesn't say that it was returned, but it does just say.
Right, but
So he didn't receive it.
okay. So, and what are you telling me about the alleged victim in the case, Mr. McLean, that he is confirmed that he's not having contact with her?
Your Honor, they can't avoid seeing each other at work, but he does not live there, and everybody's getting along fine.
Well, you still need to, that's still a violation of, so I'm not here to address that. I'm here to address why he missed his court date.
Fine.
So I'm going to, I think that whomever's going to represent him going forward, if they're going to seek to modify, should do that the correct way and seek to have that modified. Mr. Walker, I'm going to let you chime in if you choose to before making a ruling.
Well, I'll just say that our office did reach out to the victim as well. We got some conflicting information. She said that he does not come to the house to pick up his mail, but he's saying that he does use her address for mail, but they still work together. It seems like someone's not being honest. Again, this is the information that he provided to the court. This was your ruling back in February that they do not have any contact, and he does not have any contact with that address. So based on the information that he's presented to the court, it's the state's position that he is and has been in violation, and she confirmed that they do work together. So that's just another violation. But all in all, he FTA'd, he's been in contact with her since February. So for those reasons, we ask that he's remain into custody.
Okay, I'm gonna give him the opportunity, Mr. McLean. So I want you to go ahead and I'm not sure who is going to represent him going forward, but if he wants to have that bond modified, go ahead and place that on somebody's calendar in that regard. As far as this matter goes this morning, I am going to set aside the. Are we listening?
Yes, Your Honor, I am. I'm just reaching for his case number.
Okay. I am going to set aside the bench one on this one occasion, but you all need to tie up these loose ends. You understand?
We do. We absolutely do, Your Honor. What letter does this case number end in?
It's just Morrison.
Okay, I'll get in touch with the appropriate public defender to get on top of that.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Baker.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have one quick question, if I can ask Ms. Strong. Was Mickle a plea? I'm sorry.
Mickle was not a plea.
What about Robertson?
He was not able to make it through. We said social worker visit.
Okay, just want to make sure I didn't need any null process. All right, that's fine.
Okay. Mickle was reset to 9/21.
And so was Mr. Robertson.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Am I gonna see you this afternoon, Mr. Walker?
Not today, Your Honor.
You guys gonna send that, amended bond, Mr. McLean, I'm assuming it was. Mr. McLean?
I need to give y'all a signature bond order on Kimball.
Yes, we would like to get it signed before the judge leaves, so are you able to send that over, please?
The scanning machine, the copy machine is still down here. We don't have a laptop, so I'm gonna run to the office and do that. You'll have it in an hour. Right.
Okay,
Yeah. It'll take a minute. I have to drive back to the office to actually do it.
all right, so we'll see you all next time. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Baker, yeah, that's gonna be set aside, okay? So if you miss
Okay,
another,
thank you.
we're gonna set this one aside, but don't miss another court date. And I've instructed your counsel to go ahead and see about if that's what they choose to do, amending that bond order.
Okay, so I have one more question.
Okay, wait and ask Mr. McLean. Mr. McLean, would you get in touch with him and answer all questions that he has, please?
I will. I've got his phone number. Thank
Okay,
you.
he'll give you a call, Mr. Baker. I just don't want you doing that live on the YouTube, okay?
I got you.
All right, have a good day, sir. Everyone else also.
Net trash. No, I'm just gonna take it back. Yeah, I'll just enjoy the file. I keep these files for 2 months.